name is Lisa Pallavi Barbora, and I've got with me Kayezad Adajania. The mutual fund industry, which has a few thousand distributors, recently undertook a due diligence process where a few hundred, around 350 odd distributors were audited by different auditors, and this process has now been completed to a certain extent. Now, Kayezad is with me to tell us what this means for the industry, for the distributors, and for the investor. So Kayezad, take us through what this due diligence is all about, why was it started, and which kind of distributors does it include?
Well, just to give you a little background, now in India, you know that market intermediaries like, let's say, mutual funds, they are regulated. But the people who sell these products to customers, like the distributors or the agents, aren't regulated. So, you know, we've had a history of let's say mis-selling of financial products to investors over a number of years, and because of the large scale of distributors spread across the length and breadth of the country, it was difficult for any regulator to step in and monitor these agents. Formerly, they were never regulated. So there's been a debate for quite some time, and finally last year Sebi stepped in and said that okay, the mutual fund distributors would need to be regulated. Again, as I said, because of the sheer size and the scale of distributors, sheer number of distributors spread across the country, it's not possible to start regulating all of them at one go. So, to begin with, what Sebi said was that it said that let's regulate the top distributors of the country, one of the few of the largest distributors of the country, and it put the onus on the mutual funds to do that. So, which are these large distributors? So, some parameters Sebi laid out last year, and based on these 4-point parameters, about 350 odd distributors, including your largest banks, your largest national distributors, and a few of the largest independent financial agents, IFAs, what you call. So they came into the ambit of these 350 top distributors, and what Sebi said was that a due diligence process has to be carried out for these 350 distributors. What this due diligence means is that it is actually at the end of the day an audit of a distributor's systems, processes, and operations. Okay, and a lot of other things also, like for example, how a distributor recommends funds, how he does his research, how he recommends his funds, how he talks to his clients, what about his records and all that. So it's a very detailed process, which started last November in 2011. It took about 7, 8, 9 months for AMFI to actually complete. So 350 distributors were audited or subjected to this due diligence process. And to do this, Sebi shortlisted about 11 chartered accountancy firms, including bigger ones like PricewaterhouseCoopers and KPMG. There were smaller, medium CA firms also like Pense and Company and Malpani and Company and all that. So 11 audit firms were shortlisted. They did the due diligence of all these distributors. They collected, it was a very exhaustive process. So each distributor was subjected to a 2 or 3 day rigorous question answer session whereby the auditors actually went to the offices of the distributors. They asked questions, they saw the records, collected all the data, tabulated it, and then this data was given to all the mutual funds where these distributors were empaneled. So this was what the due diligence process was all about. It started last year, and it just got over in July 2012. Yeah. And as per SEBI's requirement, this is supposed to be a once in a year requirement, or maybe a once in 2 years requirement.
So it's really a good thing that it will help in maybe weeding out or improving the quality of distribution in that sense, and make things more process oriented for
True.
investors as well. What are the other benefits that an investor can get? So if I have a regular distributor, does it make a difference to me that he is being audited or not? Or
it doesn't. It may not make a direct impact because the correctness of the recommendation. Let me put it that way: correctness of the recommendation will obviously depend on the intellect of the distributor. So, for example, a distributor tells you that Franklin Blue Chip Fund is better than, let's say, DSP BlackRock Top 100 Fund. The due diligence process will not be able to scientifically say whether the distributor was right or wrong. So how much money you make directly thanks to your distributor's advice, that may or may not have that much of a big impact by the due diligence process. The systems and the processes of the distributor and how a distributor actually goes about managing your money, managing its back end, operations and all that. So if that gets audited, then the distributor knows that somebody is keeping an eye on me. Okay, the distributor knows that somebody is keeping an eye out on him. So as a result of which, he will try and streamline his processes and his systems. And if your distributor happens to be one of those who are audited, then you know that somebody is watching your distributor.
So there you go. It may not have a direct impact on your returns of the investments that you make, but this due diligence process will definitely bring in transparency into how a distributor operates, will make things a bit more process oriented, and also in the long run, quality is what will be seen through this kind of an audit. Thank you very much, Kayezad, for joining us. That's all from me.